My screen suddenly flashed. A stark warning appeared. YouTube knew what I was doing. It had detected Pi, my chosen ad blocker. This felt like a digital shakedown. The message was blunt, an ultimatum. Disable Pi, it demanded, or lose access to videos. The platform I visited daily, a source of information and entertainment, was now issuing threats. It was a clear attempt to control my online experience, to dictate how I consumed content on their terms, not mine. This was a stark reminder of who holds the power. This felt deeply personal. It wasn't just about seeing a few commercials. It was about my autonomy online, my right to choose what software I run on my own computer. YouTube, a giant corporation, was reaching into my browser. It was telling me what tools I could and could not use. This aggressive stance felt like an overreach. A clear signal that user choice was secondary to their profit motives. The internet was supposed to be about freedom, not walled gardens with strict rules. The choice they presented was a false one: suffer through an endless stream of intrusive ads, or give up a tool that made the internet usable. This is the dilemma. YouTube engineers, they want to force compliance, they want to eliminate any deviation from their preferred model. But users are not passive consumers. We are active participants. We seek ways to improve our digital lives. Ad blockers are a response to a problem YouTube itself created with its ad policies. This confrontation was more than an inconvenience. It was a symptom of a larger battle, a battle for control of the internet, a battle between users wanting freedom and platforms wanting dominance. My simple act of using Pi, an ad blocker designed to offer a fairer way, had placed me on the front lines. It highlighted the growing tension. The digital gauntlet had been thrown down. How would users and the internet itself respond to such strong-arm tactics from a platform so many rely on? Ad blockers like Pi are not born out of malice. They are tools of self-defense. Think of them as shields. Shields against an overwhelming barrage of digital noise. They give us back precious seconds, even minutes of our lives. They allow us to focus on the content we actually want to see. Without these tools, the internet can become an unbearable landscape of constant interruption. Pi, and others like it, work by identifying and stopping ad scripts before they load, effectively decluttering our digital spaces. The popularity of these tools is a clear message. Users are frustrated. They are tired of ads that are too loud, too long, or simply too numerous. Ads that follow us around the web, tracking our every click. This surveillance is a core part of the modern ad machine. Ad blockers offer a small sanctuary, a moment of peace in the digital storm. They provide a sense of control in an environment that often feels designed to exploit our attention for corporate gain. It's rarely about a desire to harm content creators. Many users understand that creators need revenue. The issue is with the aggressive, intrusive nature of the advertising model itself. The system feels broken. It prioritizes the advertiser's message over the user's experience. Ad blockers are a grassroots solution to this imbalance. They represent a collective voice saying, enough is enough. We want a better, more respectful way to engage with online content and its creators. Pi specifically attempted to address this complex issue. It wasn't just about blocking ads. It explored models where users could be compensated for their attention. This acknowledges that our time and data have value. This is a fundamental shift from the current paradigm. The widespread adoption of ad blockers is not a problem to be crushed. It is feedback to be listened to. It signals a deep need for reform in how online advertising operates. The types of ads YouTube forces upon its users are a major source of this frustration. Unskippable ads are a prime example. You click on a short video, perhaps a news clip or a tutorial. But first, you must endure 30 seconds, sometimes more, of an ad you have no interest in. This feels disrespectful of our time. It turns a quick visit into a tedious waiting game. This practice alone drives many to seek out ad-blocking solutions, just to reclaim those stolen moments. Then there are the ads that seem to go on forever, multiple ads stacked before a video, ads interrupting in the middle of crucial moments. Sometimes the ad breaks are longer than the actual content segments. It's a relentless assault on our attention spans. This isn't just an annoyance, it actively degrades the user experience. It makes using YouTube feel like a chore rather than a source of discovery or entertainment. The platform often feels more like an ad delivery system than a video sharing site. Perhaps most concerning are the inappropriate or NSFW not safe for work ads. Scam advertisements promising unrealistic returns. Ads with suggestive or explicit content appearing before videos intended for all audiences. Imagine children encountering these. YouTube's moderation and ad filtering systems clearly struggle to prevent this. This failure is a serious breach of trust. It makes users feel unsafe and exposes vulnerable viewers to unsuitable material, all in the name of ad revenue. This relentless and often inappropriate advertising strategy is a key driver for ad blocker adoption. It's a direct consequence of YouTube's choices. They have pushed the limits of user tolerance. The platform has become a landscape of digital billboards, often shouting louder than the content itself. Users aren't inherently anti-ad, they are anti-bad ad experience. They are pushing back against a system that prioritizes relentless monetization over a positive and safe environment for its community. YouTube and its parent company Google present their war on ad blockers as a noble cause. They claim it is all about protecting content creators. The narrative is simple: ads generate revenue. This revenue supports the people making the videos we love. Ad blockers, therefore, starve these creators. They threaten the very ecosystem that allows diverse content to flourish on the platform. This is the story they tell the public, the media, and even regulators. It sounds reasonable on the surface, but is this the complete picture, or is it a carefully crafted justification? YouTube is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. Advertising is its lifeblood, and Google's primary income stream. While creators do receive a portion of ad revenue, the lion's share often benefits the platform itself. The crackdown on ad blockers feels less like a selfless act to save creators. It feels more like a move to consolidate control and maximize corporate profits. It's about ensuring every last drop of ad revenue flows through their controlled channels. They argue that a fair value exchange requires viewing ads. But what is fair when the ads are intrusive, irrelevant, or even harmful? What is fair when user data is harvested extensively to power this ad machine? The platform sets the terms of this exchange unilaterally. Users have little say. The choice is to accept their terms or be denied access. This is not a negotiation between equals. It is a dictate from a dominant market player. This crackdown is part of a larger trend. Big tech companies are increasingly tightening their grip on their ecosystems. They want to control the hardware, the software, and the user experience from end to end. Ad blockers represent a form of user agency that challenges this control. By framing ad blockers as detrimental to creators, YouTube attempts to pit users against the very people they wish to support. It's a clever strategy, but it masks the underlying pursuit of greater platform power and profit.
Section 5. Collateral damage. Users and creators in the crossfire. This aggressive war on ad blockers inevitably creates collateral damage. As a user, I am the first to feel the impact. I'm forced to endure a viewing experience that many find intolerable. The constant interruptions, the irrelevant ads, the tracking, it all adds up. Some of us will reluctantly disable our blockers. We feel disempowered, our preferences ignored. This breeds resentment towards the platform, a feeling of being hostage to its demands rather than a valued member of its community. Others will simply leave or reduce our time spent on YouTube. We will seek out alternative platforms that offer a more respectful user experience. Or we might find more convoluted ways to bypass the restrictions, leading to an endless cat and mouse game. This exodus, even if gradual, means fewer eyeballs on videos. As a creator, this directly impacts me. The very people YouTube claims to be protecting could suffer as a result of these heavy-handed tactics. We find ourselves in a difficult position. We rely on YouTube for reach and revenue. Yet, if YouTube's policies alienate viewers, those viewers may disengage. Fewer views mean less ad revenue, regardless of ad blocker usage. Frustrated viewers are also less likely to like, comment, or subscribe. These engagement metrics are crucial for a channel's growth and visibility. The relationship between creators and their audience can become strained by the platform's intrusive ad policies. Ultimately, forcing users into a degraded experience is a short-sighted strategy. It prioritizes immediate ad impressions over long-term user satisfaction and loyalty. A platform thrives when its users and creators are happy. When the balance is tilted too far in favor of monetization at any cost, the entire ecosystem becomes less healthy. This conflict isn't just about technology, it's about trust. And trust, once broken, is incredibly hard to rebuild for both users and the creators caught in this crossfire. I know. Hence why I am making this video. I became a victim of this.
Section 6, Pi's Promise, a glimmer of fair compensation. The ad blocker that triggered my YouTube warning, Pi, was trying to offer a different path. It wasn't just another tool to blindly eliminate all ads. Pi and similar experimental models explored a more nuanced approach. They flirted with the idea of a middle ground, a system where users might opt in to see certain ads. Or more radically, a system where users could actually be compensated for their attention if they chose to view advertisements. This is a significant departure from the status quo. This idea of paying users to watch ads is revolutionary. It acknowledges a fundamental truth: our attention has tangible economic value. Currently, that value is captured almost entirely by platforms like YouTube and the advertisers they serve. Creators get a slice, but the viewer, whose attention is the actual commodity, gets nothing directly. Pi's model suggested that users could become active participants in this value exchange, not just passive targets for marketing messages. This could shift the power dynamic considerably. Imagine a system where you could choose to watch a certain number of ads per day. In return, you receive a small payment, or perhaps credits towards a premium subscription. This would make the ad experience voluntary, not compulsory. It respects user agency. It transforms ads from an unwelcome intrusion into a conscious choice with a direct benefit. This approach could make users more receptive to advertising, knowing they have control and are being fairly recognized for their time. However, such models challenge the established order. Platforms like YouTube thrive on their ability to unilaterally dictate terms. They want to control the ad inventory, the pricing, and the user experience. Sharing ad revenue directly with users, or allowing third-party tools like Pi to mediate this, undermines that control. The resistance to such innovative compensation ideas isn't purely technical. It's about maintaining power and maximizing profit extraction within the existing platform-centric model. They don't like to share the pie, so to speak. Section 7, The Exodus, Pushing Users to the Brink. YouTube's hardline stance on ad blockers is a dangerous gamble. It risks alienating a significant portion of its user base. People have a limit to their patience. Constant warnings, threats of restricted access, and a deliberately worsened experience can push users away. They might start actively looking for alternatives. And alternatives, though perhaps smaller, do exist. The digital landscape is not as monolithic as big tech would have us believe. There are other places to watch and share videos. Decentralized platforms like PeerTube or Odyssey are gaining traction. These platforms often operate on different principles. Some prioritize creator ownership more directly, others have less intrusive advertising or are funded through different means like cryptocurrency or direct donations. Subscription-based services like Nebula, built by creators themselves, offer ad-free content by design. If YouTube becomes too hostile, users will migrate. Even a small but steady trickle of departures can, over time, erode a platform's dominance. The network effect that benefits large platforms like YouTube is powerful. Everyone is there because everyone else is there. But network effects can also unravel. If enough users and creators find better alternatives, the appeal of the incumbent diminishes. Advertisers follow audiences. So, a shrinking or disengaged user base ultimately hurts YouTube's bottom line. The assumption that users will simply tolerate any imposition is a common mistake made by dominant companies. History is littered with examples of giants that stumbled. Forcing compliance through punitive measures is rarely a sustainable long-term strategy. It fosters resentment and encourages circumvention. People value their online freedom. They value a browsing experience that isn't constantly interrupted and monetized without their explicit enthusiastic consent. Pushing users to the brink with these ad blocker wars might just accelerate the search for and adoption of new platforms that treat their communities with more respect. This could be an own goal for YouTube. Section 8. Beyond the blockade, seeking truce and alternatives. There has to be a more constructive path forward than this constant conflict. A truce between YouTube and its users is possible. But it requires YouTube to acknowledge the legitimacy of user frustrations. They could start by offering genuinely better ad controls, allow users to easily opt out of certain ad categories, make all ads truly skippable after a very short period, drastically reduce the sheer number of ad interruptions. These changes would improve the experience significantly. Improving ad quality is another crucial step. YouTube needs to be far more diligent in screening out scam ads, misleading promotions, and inappropriate content. When users trust that ads are relevant and safe, their tolerance for them increases. The current YouTube Premium subscription model offers an ad-free experience, but its price point is a barrier for many. Perhaps offering tiered subscriptions or a lower-cost ads-light option could be explored. More flexibility would be welcome. Looking at other platforms, we see different approaches to monetization. Twitch, for example, while also reliant on ads, heavily promotes channel-specific subscriptions and subs that offer direct benefits and a closer connection to creators. Patreon and similar crowdfunding sites allow direct support from fans to creators, bypassing platform-imposed ad models entirely. These diverse strategies show that advertising isn't the only way to fund online content. YouTube could learn from these, fostering more direct creator-fan financial relationships. The ultimate goal should be to find a balance that respects users' time and attention, a balance that ensures creators can earn a living, and yes, a balance that allows the platform to be sustainable. But this balance cannot be achieved through dictates and technological warfare. It requires dialogue, flexibility, and a willingness from YouTube to cede some control back to the users who form its community. A more collaborative approach will always be more fruitful than an adversarial one. Section 9. The future, unblocked, reimagining online advertising. This ongoing battle over ad blockers on YouTube is not an isolated skirmish. It is a reflection of a much larger debate about the future of the internet. What kind of digital world do we want to inhabit? Will it be a space dominated by a handful of powerful corporations, platforms that dictate terms, track our every move, and bombard us with advertising whether we like it or not? This is the trajectory of surveillance capitalism, and it's a grim one. Or can we build an internet that prioritizes user agency and genuine choice? A digital commons where individuals have more control over their data and their online experience. Ad blockers in their current form are a symptom of a deeper problem. The disease is an advertising model that has become excessively intrusive, pervasive, and often disrespectful. Simply banning the symptom won't cure the disease. It will only drive the problem underground or to other platforms. Innovative models like the one Pi attempted to introduce, focusing on user compensation or more ethical ad engagement, point towards potential future directions. We need more experimentation in this space. Perhaps micropayments for individual pieces of content will become viable. Or community-funded platforms could flourish, supported directly by users who value their independence. The technology exists to build these alternatives. What's often lacking is the collective will to challenge the entrenched giants. The fight for a better, less exploitative online advertising ecosystem is far from over. It's a continuous struggle for the soul of the internet. Users, developers, and even enlightened creators have a role to play. We must demand more transparency, more control, and more respect from the platforms that have become central to our lives. The future of online advertising doesn't have to be a dystopian landscape of forced consumption. It can be reimagined to serve people, not just the relentless pursuit of corporate profit.